Hello and welcome to the Subtly Careless Podcast. We actually have a title this time other than just the OBNC podcast.
Because we are more organized this time, and because of Howard.
Yeah, thank you, our producer Howard, who has set us up with this nice camera and one of these microphones.
And a lot of lights that you can see in the window.
Mm-hmm.
For the game, for the video part, it is Doom. We're playing Doom. So if you don't want Doom spoilers, get out. If you're listening to audio and you don't want Doom spoilers, too bad. You're not going to hear any of them. Press left bumper to continue. Pressing left bumper.
You don't have to announce you're pressing left bumper.
There we go.
It doesn't matter, really.
Alright, so for a jumping off point for today, I'm thinking plurals of ourselves. So you know how you have a gaggle of geese, a murder of crows, a pack of wolves, a pot of whales. I'm just a parliament of owls. I'm just gonna keep going. I don't care about the podcast anymore. I'm just gonna keep naming them. Yeah. So what do you guys think you would be?
An aioli of Austins. Yes, I meant aioli.
Can I be Copernicus of Andrews?
Copernicus of Andrews.
I had a really good...
I guess that does work because it doesn't have to match the same letter because a murder of crows doesn't really fit.
You also have Parliament of Owls, too.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I had a really cool one that I totally forgot it. It was something like...
You can be a
Imam
slave.
of Israel.
No, it's a slave of
Indecisive. It's Dilemma. A dilemma of Israel's.
Oh yeah.
That's because Israel's so indecisive that he can't decide what he's going to do with himself.
Yeah, no, I am very indecisive whenever it comes to stuff. And every time I decide to be indecisive while picking something out, everyone around me just decides to be like, nah, man, this is your decision. It's up to you to decide. And then that just adds way more pressure onto me that I just cannot handle.
This is why we can't go out to eat with Israel. We'll be staying there for 30 minutes. We'll just be looking at the menu. We'll already have our food.
Scream and cry at the waiter.
We'll be grabbing our coats to leave, and Israel will say, "Got it. I want some chicken tenders."
That's it.
That's it.
That's
I've
it.
got a new recipe.
You didn't come up with a new recipe. You stole somebody else's recipe. Come on. Eating it once does not count as making it your own.
Are you sure?
That's it. Come up with a new name. I'll be sure to repost it for you.
Alright,
Why do you think it's called a gaggle of geese?
Gaggle of witches. Geese are witches.
Geese are witches.
Geese are a plague on the earth, and so are witches. And you gotta burn
also,
the same.
as we all know, from Monty Python's A Holy Grail, a witch floats and a goose floats, so they weigh the same amount.
Wait, so that means a gaggle of rocks apply too?
A gaggle of rocks.
Whenever you say rock, do you mean the giant
Pebbles,
bird?
pebbles.
Like a stone.
Yeah, stones. Because small stones also float.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it does. You've never seen Monty Python?
Do they say small stone?
I think so. And I think it's wood and
It's
small
a
stones.
wood, a duck, ducks float.
I've never actually seen Monty Python in the Holy Grail.
You disgrace me.
You disgracement?
You disgrace me.
You see, that's why I like history classes, because you watch Monty Python when they would talk about the Middle Ages.
We watched Bill and Ted in our...
Yeah, I remember that.
It was great. Excellent adventure, not bogus journey.
Connor and I think, played Shovel Knight the entire time.
That's
or
just
was it
kind of
Stardew
rude.
Valley?
Oh, that's rude is when you don't play Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure while watching Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
They made a game of it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it
What
an
platform?
adventure game?
It was on Nintendo, so NES. I don't remember. I just remember it was kind of meh. Awkward silences.
It's the best.
It's the final countdown. Just hit that guy in the back.
So, currently, in between us, we're having a feud in between Austin and Andrew over who is going to get my spare copy of Needful Things by Stephen King, so we could read it together. Because I decided I wanted to read it, and I was like, oh, hey, I have a spare copy, so who wants to read it with me?
Who's the one that's recommended books to you, Israel?
I only recommend weird lady novels.
No.
Whenever I say that, I mean that in the
What are you saying about
most
me?
respectful
I recommend you
way
good
possible, where like reading shouldn't be defined to a gender, but the one book that you have.
Okay, the one book I'd recommend to
recommended
you. Well, I've recommended a couple, but the one you're referencing is While You Were Mine. I forget the author. It's a good book. It's not like a romantic comedy. And it's not
I enjoy
intended
romantic comedies.
And it's not intended just for women either.
Okay, here's the thing. You're supposed to have a connection with the main character. That's how it always is in books. They're supposed to be a blank slate so that you can audience surrogates, you know? Now, I cannot relate to a surrogate mother, or not surrogate mother, but someone who is mothering a child. I don't have any maternal instincts. It just wouldn't click with me. I have no trouble reading from the perspective of women, even during...
How can you relate to the Watchmen?
To the Watchmen?
Are you a superhero?
Actually, one of them is a
vigilante
superhero.
justice?
The rest of them just want what's right in the world.
I'm a giant blue guy who wears no clothes, so I can relate. Totally.
Watchmen is excellent.
Are you?
No, okay, no.
You've read the BFG, right? Are you
Little
a little
girl.
Are you a little girl?
Yeah, Israel is a little girl.
I'm a little
Have you
girl.
seen it?
See, I had no trouble reading that book.
Because you're a little girl who interacts with giants the whole time.
Yeah, and then
You're focusing on the wrong part.
Or a little boy who interacts with a giant peach and lives inside this giant peach. Are you that little boy?
Both of them are misunderstood children.
And James was
Relate
escaping
to a
his home
misunderstood
life.
child.
Have we all tried to escape our home life at least one point in time?
Yeah,
No.
No. Well, Austin's the odd one out.
It is with children. You can, whenever you read a book from a child's perspective, you can always relate to them because you too were once a child who felt that no one else
Not a
understood
misunderstood child who wanted to live inside of a peach.
He never wanted to live inside of a peach.
You just grew a peach.
Yeah, it was like with weird beans or whatever, like, little green things, and then all the bugs ate them and stuff.
See, now it's time
How do you relate to John Proctor?
Oh my
John, he's just a normal guy trying to do what he believes is right.
So Israel is John Proctor.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not my turn to make a case for why I should get.
No, you never get a turn.
Okay, I don't get a turn. So I'm taking my turn anyway.
This is Trump America now, Andrew.
Not for a few more days. Anyway.
One of the lights just turned off.
Anyway. I think I should do it because I recommend Israel more than just books. I recommend him everything he should watch and read. I dictate Israel's life
too.
down to the day. You're going to Harvard, by the way.
But I want to go to Yale.
You're not going for business law. You're
talking like that. You're going to Princeton.
Even in Watchmen, they're just normal people who want to be superheroes, or who want to be heroes. Who the fuck can't relate to that?
Yeah, we could be heroes.
The original Night Owl, the new Night Owl, Rorschach, which, you know, I too have a very strong sense of morals. Nowhere near as strong as him, like, you know, even in the face of Armageddon.
How do you relate to Edmond Dantes? Huh?
Count of Monte Cristo?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. Yes? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
it is. The Count of
I
Monte
relate
Cristo.
to him because I am a man who was wrongfully accused of crime and sent to prison for most of my life, and then I escaped. Come on.
And then I kill everyone.
And I seek my revenge.
Death.
I seek my revenge by pretending to be somebody else. You know. That's how it goes.
But yeah, so, Andrew, what is your case of why you should get it?
Just that. I'm better than Austin.
You're better at Austin,
Who
at the one
opened
thing
you
that
up to
Austin...
the opportunity of Camp Bro?
That doesn't matter.
You didn't really open us to the opportunity.
You
We
just,
always
like-
had the opportunity, you just kind of suggested it.
Yeah, we could have done it without you.
Who gave you the ride there?
We could have got a road
You're
right there
wrong.
because I thought it was gonna be somewhere else and not where we're at.
Yeah,
That's
no,
beside the point, Andrew, but
I
who
thought-
did
yeah.
actually give you the ride there?
Your mother.
Yes.
Not
But whose mother is it? My mother.
Austin's brother gets Needful Things.
Okay, that looks like what it's come to. Now, something else to consider
What
is
did you say, Andrew?
I got you Tabletop Simulator for Christmas, and I didn't get Andrew anything for Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew doesn't deserve a Christmas.
Take that, Andrew.
Dang it, not again. First the Grinch and now you guys? How many times can I not get a Christmas?
Oh, yeah, and you're converting to Judaism.
Not again.
Is Father Michael gonna be there?
Father Michael be there.
I think he means going on Michael.
I don't get it.
I meant Father Michael from A Christmas Story.
He means Jan
the one
Michael
where
Vincent.
he blows his brains out with a cold metal pole.
What?
Blows his eye out, or
Shoots his eye.
yeah, blows his You
What?
get what I'm saying?
Like, that never happened in A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, Tiny Tim, he played his ukulele.
I'm very confused.
What's the movie? What's the movie? The one where Robbie shoots his eye out.
He doesn't shoot his eye out. He shoots his glasses off and then steps on them. He doesn't shoot his eye out.
He shoots his eye
And
out.
it's Ralphie, not Robbie.
Rotten Robbie. Yeah.
His
I've seen Lazy Town once. The movie.
Lazy Town.
I own Lazy Town Blu-ray HD
Do you really?
1080p. No, I don't.
Special features.
Special
including
edition.
Special commentary from Ron Robbie himself.
Bake a Pretty Cake Special Edition.
There's a disturbing amount of Lazy Town going on.
Cook him
It is bothersome.
Disturbing, you say?
I don't want to talk about it. Which questions why I brought it up, but who's to say?
You're out of your element, Donnie.
No, you're not using that right.
I am using it right. I
Have
say
you
what I
even
want.
seen Oh Brother Where Art Thou?
I've
What?
seen Forrest Gump. It's the same thing, right? Because
Kind of.
Mom said life was like a box of chocolates. Only 2 of them are good, and the rest are kind of crap.
You know what? I refuse. Who doesn't know what they're getting with a box of chocolates? They always have something on them telling you what is inside.
Not the cheap kind.
It's a ticking.
Russell Stover doesn't.
Yeah, like the expensive Russell Stovers do, not the cheap ones.
It's a ticking time bomb. Okay, first off, the $2 ones that I get for Valentine's Day from my grandparents, the tiny little ones with only like 5 chocolates inside, always tell me what it is.
But the big ones don't.
The big ones do.
No,
If you look on
some
the
big ones
back,
do. Some
or
big
if you
ones do. Some of the boxes don't.
I have not in the past 5 years seen one that has not, and that's only whenever I started looking. Oh,
Who could that
looks
be?
like someone is here.
Go get the door, Israel.
So now Israel's gone. It's just you and me, Austin. So
Okay.
let's get really intimate here. So I'm scooting closer to Austin here. No, I'm not really.
Podcast. Also, Lily says hi.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Is that my chicken fried rice?
Oh, no, it's my chicken fried rice.
it looks like you don't have a special guest. Way to go, Israel. You're supposed to bring a special guest.
Thought it was the pizza guy.
That was our
Pizza
special.
guy have chicken fried rice.
I don't know.
Because that's what we asked for. I also asked for a toy.
I want a Happy Meal.
Anyway, so whether Howard cuts that out or not,
Which maybe he won't.
Wink,
Yeah,
wink.
I want Howard to make that like, ding, whatever.
No, maybe he won't, and then that's when he cuts it out.
Just me, maybe he won't.
Israel went to get the door for inconspicuous reasons.
Not a murderer.
So how do you guys feel about Mario Run?
I played
I
it
don't
once
know.
on Connor's phone. It's alright.
I like it. It's pretty alright, except for you have to pay after the first 3 levels.
I mean,
really stupid.
it's $10
Still, if I'm gonna pay $10, I might as well go on the eShop and buy a real Mario game.
That is true. That is really true. But it's not unreasonable. It's not $99 for a bunch of gold packs.
But
I prefer it to be microtransactions, and I have to like wait every so often or watch a bunch of commercials to get another level. Mm-hmm. Not paying $10 to get the whole game.
I don't know. I'd rather pay $10 to get the whole game just so it's so that there's. I mean, that's kind of not ironic to say, but. It's so that there's not a constant paywall. It's you pay it once and then it's done.
I definitely prefer paying once to...
Yeah, but still, I'd rather have some sort of freeness to it, at least, where I don't have to pay. Because I don't mind watching commercials to get stuff. It doesn't bother me any. But it's the fact that I have to pay once, which is not that bad. But still, I don't want to pay for a game where I can get Sonic Dash, which is pretty much just a running game. And it's free. I don't have to watch commercials very often, and I am having more fun with that than I did with Mario Run.
Well, I have a Samsung, so I wouldn't even know. It's not for Samsung, because God hates Samsung.
That's why I'm a white girl with my iPhone.
Waiting for Westboro to have that on their
Everyone at Westboro Baptist Church is sponsored by Apple.
God hates Samsung. That's great. So, the reason that Needful Things that I'll be reading is that I finally, after 6 months, finished reading it. And whenever I say after 6 months, combined, it's about like a week and a half maybe of total reading time. And that is because I read half of it over the course of a week, and then slowly, I just kept slowing down, just constantly putting huge gaps in between my reading until it was practically just non-existent.
That's why you need to get the graphic novel for it, like the Artemis Fowl graphic novels, which I've never read, but I've heard are pretty alright.
Yeah, for Christmas I got the graphic novel for Gremlins. It's dope as shit.
I didn't really like it. It was a slog.
Did you enjoy the sewer gangbang with all the preteens?
Who doesn't?
Howard is looking at me confused. That happens in the book. And I'm pretty sure that that's what they were referencing whenever they said that they were going to... No, it's
okay.
I read Artemis Fowl. I don't remember that.
I do.
Am I suppressing it?
You're pretty sure that's what they were referenced to when they did what?
Whenever they were talking about the new It movie that's coming out, which I'm pretty excited for, they said that they would be showing the most controversial part of the book. And after reading it, it almost definitely has to be that, but if it's not that, then it's the part whenever...
Pennywise steals Georgie.
No, what? No, that was in the first one. No, whenever Bill Denbrough steals his dad's gun, and then goes into a basement and shoots it in the head with a gun.
You mean Pennywise?
Well, yeah, he shoots Pennywise, but Richie sees it as the werewolf.
Werewolf Gary Busey. That's my favorite Stephen King movie.
Oh, was he the werewolf in Cycle of the Werewolf?
No, he was part of the...
he was he was like the uncle or whatever.
Yeah, who souped up that one kid's wheelchair.
Yeah, I forgot the one of the kids has a wheelchair.
And that's the scariest part of the movie is Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. You know, originally...
Pre or post-accident?
It was pre, but he's still kind of scary.
Originally, Cycle of the Werewolf, fun fact, I like to say fun fact a lot.
They're not really fun.
Was originally made for a... Howard the light went out again. This... it was like a calendar or something. And then with every month, you would flip it, and then there would be another part of the book, or the short story. And I really want to find one of them, because that would be so cool to find. Yeah.
That'd be pretty good for my collection of weird old books and related stuff like that. I have a copy of Flash Gordon.
The book?
I have a VHS copy of Flash Gordon.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Well,
It's not
technically,
quite the same thing.
I'll
pretty
trade you.
sure it is.
No, this is this is a book from the '60s. It's the comic book of Flash Gordon. It's actually a book, but it's a comic, which is cool, and it's Flash Gordon, so it's triple points there.
Yeah, but I think a big part of me having one of these two read Needful Things with me is that I lose motivation to read. It's either compulsively I force myself into that world.
If you give me a book, I mean, besides like in school reading, because I don't need to do none of that. But if you give me a book and like give me a reason to read it, I'll sit down and read most of it in probably one night.
Yeah, I'm what I call a slow reader because if I'm not interested in it, I don't read very fast. But if it's something like how to build something, I'll read that. That's a horrible example, but I think Black Hawk Down, I read that in like a day.
Rip and tear!
But Huck Finn, I kind of...
Yeah, no, I just lose motivation for required readings. Like, I love the books that they have us read. To Kill a Mockingbird,
To Kill a
Life of
Mockingbird
Pi.
is my jam.
It
Life of
was,
Pi was
Huck
terrible.
Finn. Yeah, Life of Pi was pretty boring.
So I have a question about that. So you know how he eats the tiger poop?
Yes.
So and if he eats the tiger, does that mean he ate his own poop?
Maybe.
Took a dump in his hands and then just chowed down.
That's the one part that's stuck in my head, and I kept asking about it, but nobody would give me any answers.
You know, like, there was this douche. You reread it. Oh, God, I think I might sneeze. Who I sat next to. What happened was, I was sitting here, and then he was here, and then there were these two girls across from us. One of them.
What year is this?
Freshman year.
Who'd you sit by?
Let's not say names. But, I think you know who. Put a dink in there, whenever. Then post Howard. Dink. It was this guy, either, I'm pretty sure he just watched the movie and said that he read the book within like a week or something of it. He tells the people sitting across from the two of us the ending. I had never spoken to him before. I never intended on speaking to him. He was a douchebag. And he tells them that, and then I go, whoa, you can't just tell people the ending, because they clearly had never, they didn't know. And I had seen the movie because, yeah, I just didn't really care. And I had seen it like a year before, and this bastard ignores me. He sits there standing perfectly forward while I'm chastising him on spoiling it. And it's ridiculous.
It's not that big of a twist, though.
I know, it's not that big of a twist, but that doesn't make it not spoiling it. Like,
I've had Rogue One spoiled for me.
Well, that's kind of a given, though.
Yeah, true.
whenever I first... Actually, we're not going to say that, because I care about you, viewers.
Or listeners.
Or listeners. It all depends.
Oh, I have no upgrade points, okay.
Since we're talking about Rogue One, let's talk about the prequels.
Yeah, no, that would be good.
I don't think they're as bad as people say they are.
I don't actually recall episode 1.
Episode 2 is really forgettable. It's average, but you just forget about it.
I've seen the ending to episode 2 5 times in total, I
Is
think.
episode 2 the one where they fight on Geonosis?
No, this is the one where you have Mace Windu versus all the bounty hunters, right? And the droids?
Yeah, in the arena.
Yeah.
But because episode 2 is Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
So is that not the one where they fought on Geonosis?
No, that was episode 3.
Episode... Are you sure?
Yeah, Geonosis is the Lotta planet, right?
What?
Which one is that one?
Geonosis is the sand planet with the, moth dudes.
Moth? Oh, with, the horrible Jewish stereotypes.
What?
Or, Guido, or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
Guido.
Yeah, it'll cost you more, with his big old, huge, floppy nose. Yeah, no, it's horribly racist against Jewish people. I am not Jewish, don't let anyone tell you that.
No, it's
Don't let
not
the name
Israel.
fool you.
He's a Geonosian. That's just how it is.
Because
No, but, like there are clear racial jokes in them, and then Guido just is a racist depiction of a Jewish person. There's no way around it. He's he is a walking, hovering stereotype.
And how is that? Because he has a big nose?
He has a horribly racist accent, big old nose, and is obsessed with money.
Okay.
And he keeps slaves.
Does Jabba the Hutt not do the same thing? Is
Jabba the Hutt has no nose.
No. Oh, that's the only separation is he has no nose. Therefore, he can't be any.
And he's not obsessed with money. He's just a gangster.
And what are gangsters?
And he doesn't have a Jewish accent.
What is a Jewish accent?
Yeah, Israel.
I'm not going to attempt to.
Whenever I think of a Jewish accent, I think of like a
There is no Jewish accent.
pseudo like George Costanza.
Let's move on from this topic.
Okay, back to what we were talking about. Because I feel like, yeah, the pacing's kind of off with the prequels. But one is, pretty alright. You got the pod racing, which takes forever to start up.
So boring whenever it does start up.
But I feel like the Darth Maul fight at the end really brings it together.
Darth Maul fight is great, and I love it just for that one moment where Darth Maul kicks them, both Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, but the Obi-Wan Kenobi kick is just the best. It makes my day every single time I see it. Just because it's just like, that's always the part that they show, where it's like, and then just, boom. You might not have been able to see it, but I swung my leg out there. And listeners, I swung my leg out there. It was cool. I did a backflip.
He did not. Anyway, but I feel like Darth Maul that early was kind of not really useful because it took away Obi-Wan's motivation. There was lack of motivation in one because Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon, and that's really Obi-Wan's motivation to do what he does is to follow the steps of Qui-Gon. But if you kill Darth Maul, everybody loses the
You've
motivation.
avenged your master.
There's nothing really there, and that's the thing. The problem with the prequels is there's no motivation at all. For the characters to do what they do.
Yeah, no, if they had ended it, then it would have been, awesome. Or not ended it.
I wish
if
I
they
could
had
speak. Well, I've seen the first one a couple times, but I don't recall it at all. Besides the Naboo fight, which was, I think, the best part of that movie. It was the best part of the original Battlefront. No. Yeah, the story part of the original Battlefront.
Oh my god.
Austin, make up your mind. And then Count Dooku is the only really Mace Windu, Count Dooku, only good parts of 2. And I think 3 is really the heavy hitter out of the prequels.
We're talking about in 2. You got Boba Fett going, "Get him, Dad! Yeah, use the rockets. Get him, Dad!
It's just a block
How's that not
summer
racist
blockbuster
against
thing.
Bostonian people?
Oh my god! What? How is that?
Or
Racist?
how are the clones?
Bostonian's not a race.
Or how are the clones not racist against British people?
What are you talking
The
about?
clones aren't British.
They're Australian.
You're an idiot.
Because the actor who plays Boba Fett is Australian, so if he's a clone, that
Actually,
means his dad has to be Australian.
Actor who played Boba Fett wasn't Australian. In the remastered editions, they had him go back and change his voices. They had the guy who did Jango Fett do Boba Fett's voices over it.
Oh, that ruins it.
I know! It takes away, the whole, I want to say subtlety of Boba Fett, of just someone sort of lurking in the background.
But I thought Boba Fett wasn't exactly a perfect clone, too. Because,
I don't.
It's making more like a son. Anyway, that 3 is the best one, the prequel trilogy.
I really like the theory that Obi-Wan Kenobi and Padme were lovers. Don't look at me that way, Howard. Even whenever I was little, watching it, I could feel that weird tension in between the two of them, and they were spending weird time together. He was always going to her to whine about his problems, like Anakin killing younglings and whatnot.
I don't like that theory. Get out of here with it.
What
Take
don't you
your
like?
headcanon somewhere else.
You're not my friend
It
anymore.
makes Anakin's fall to the dark side way more explainable, rather than just like his best friend and his love betrayed him.
I
It's
thought his fall was more of his best friend doesn't see things the way he does, and he really wants to save the woman that he loves, but in the process he loses everything, and that he lets himself get
I
tricked.
thought it was
by
just
Darth
that he's an
Sidious.
angsty teenager.
Well, he also is seduced by the power of Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine.
no, but what gets him to go over is that there's the prophecy that Padme is going to die during childbirth, right? But then he goes evil before Padme dies.
Because he wants to save Padme.
Yeah, he wants to
Because
save.
Darth Sidious tells him the story. Because that's why. Because 3 revives mystery of like, oh, there's deeper story in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
With the what is it?
Darth
Plagueis.
Yeah.
That story
Plagius.
or whatever.
Who is totally Grandmaster Snoke.
It's definitely not Grandmaster Snoke.
I
How's
want
it
it to
not
be Jar Jar
Snoke?
Binks.
It's
Because
not,
it's not Snoke.
Why would it be Snoke? That makes no sense.
Have
why
you...
wouldn't it be Snoke?
Okay,
I guess he had infinite life, but I'm pretty sure Darth Sidious says he kills him.
yeah, I heard about like every time that I hear the story, I always feel like I'm missing out on something. Like I'm not hearing the full story because all I ever hear is, "Have I ever told you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis, who had the power to keep those who he loved alive?"
And himself.
And himself, but there's something apprentice, and then like that's it. Like that's not a tragedy.
And he
Where's
says-
the tragedy?
And he says, I am the apprentice.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's how Anakin knows that he can save Padme. Because
Okay.
I know the secret of how to keep Padme alive. So do what I tell you, and then we can rule and be emperor. And that's why he's Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm. I love how Darth Sidious finds new champions to like sort of take care of him. Like Count Dooku was his champion for the prequels, and then it goes to Darth Vader. And,
It was Maul, Dooku, and Vader.
I didn't know the Maul was his champion. I thought
Yeah,
that he
it
was
was.
just an assassin.
No, because he trains them and says, we're gonna revive the Sith. You and me, buddy. And then he kind of.
It gets cut in half. But here's the thing. Maul was more about just this saber fighting, and he didn't really do much with the Force.
That's why I like the books, because the books actually characterize Maul in a way that he's more than just, hey, I'm here, I look cool, I'm not gonna say any words. And he actually has motivation why he does the things he does. And so read the books. Anybody's watching and listening, read the prequel trilogy.
I really
books.
like his sort of like his extended universe part, which is still canon according to Disney because it was part of the Clone Wars. Because like where he gets like robot legs and stuff,
I didn't like
that was
that.
cool.
I didn't like that.
Why did you like it? He comes back. You get to see him being cool again.
But I thought Darth Maul was dead and should stay dead.
But you were talking about how you wish that he hadn't died then.
But no, as in died
Yeah.
then to continue the motivation
Yeah.
for the characters. But the motivation, I can't speak today. The motivation for the characters is already gone. They think he's dead. It's over.
Yeah. Everybody says that Qui-Gon Jinn is like the coolest. I thought he was kind of like he's Liam Neeson. That's super cool. But he was just a little bit too meditative for me.
Well, that's the point. He's the reason why
Meditative
Yoda.
murder?
But he's the reason why Yoda is a Force ghost.
Do one of you guys want
Oh,
to
he
take
is?
a whack
Yeah,
at this?
Obi-Wan's a Force ghost because he teaches Yoda how to.
Force
Like,
Ghost.
Yeah.
Then why
become-
isn't he a
become-
Force Ghost?
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, in the that's what I'm saying. Read the books because it actually explains everything a bit more, and that's why George Lucas says, "Oh, my work's never done," because there's all that stuff he couldn't do in the original films that he wanted to do in the So that's why he keeps editing them, which is kind of horrible.
Yeah. Okay. There was.
So he comes back to the Force Ghost and teaches Yoda, and he's like, "Yo, Yoda, this is what you have to do: become enlightened and be one with the Force, so that way you can still live on, even more powerful." That's why Obi-Wan says, "If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you'll ever know," because he's actually one with the Force.
All right, but he doesn't like really.
And then you can say, "What about Darth Vader?" I don't know. This has something to do with that one act of kindness that redeems his soul.
No, but what if he was just too powerful? That is so powerful that he automatically became a...
Then if you bring up what about the midi-chlorians? All midi-chlorians? Well, that's probably why.
Well, yeah, he has like a super high midichlorian count or whatever.
His father was the Force.
Actually, you know that they almost did the I am your father part 2, or in 3, where they were going to say that Chancellor Palpatine inspired the midichlorians to impregnate his mother. And he's like, in a sense, I am your father. Ignore that.
Alright, I think we've talked about enough about Star Wars for now.
Yeah, it's episode 1 with Dragon Ball all over.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, we need to stop talking about things that have the deepest lore. That'll, resolve everything if we just stop with lore-based things.
So, alright, so what I have written here is alpha males, dreams, Cujo, and weird stories.
Oh, I got a weird story. This all dates back to, I think, 8th grade orchestra class. So the next class I had was a test, but I finished everything. So I borrowed my friend's MP3 player because I had my headphones, and my teacher would let you listen to music if you were done with everything. So then I looked through the MP3 player, to see what he had. It was a bunch of Metal Gear music. It was cool. And then I see photos. Me be the curious mind I am. I'm like, I wonder what kind of wacky things I could find on here. I click on the photos. I scroll through it, some things are normal, and then it's My Little Pony porn. I was like, so I couldn't even look my friend in the eye. I shoved the MP3 player back in his hands after that.
Why would an MP3 player is my question?
I have no idea. I think that's my mistake, was looking through the photos in the first place. And then I shoved it back in his hand without even looking him in the eye anymore. And then I walked away. Turned 360 degrees and walked away.
360 degrees? No, that would... Or, hold up. You'd be walking at him.
No.
You walked backwards.
No, you moonwalk away. I don't know why everybody gets confused by that. I don't say walk towards him, you walk away.
What are we talking about?
Weird stories. You missed the grand tale.
Story. No, continuing on the topic of My Little Pony porn, this guy who we could...
Oh my god!
who we could possibly be
Jesus.
working with over the summer, which we all applied at a job. We don't need to tell him about that, because I don't want to be murdered. This guy, lots of people don't like him. He's a brony. He's super passionate. Like, if you ask him, like, well, why are you a brony? He will, like, start to tear up because of it. Anyways, one of my closest friends, who I've known since 6th grade, dated him freshman year when he was a junior, which I called it from the start. Dude's a creep. But, anyways, he showed her that stuff. He showed her that stuff. This is just some shy, bookish girl.
Bookish?
Bookish.
What does that mean?
She was a book.
360
pages.
Quiet,
360 pages of personality.
She is shaped like a rectangular prism.
Prism?
Prism. Rectangular prism.
Oh, right.
It's 3D, Howard. God.
Jeez, Howard, think on the
You guys
Z
probably
axis.
can't hear Howard,
Z-axis.
but
Yeah. That's what
yeah,
it's
no,
called.
that's
Howard,
actually no. It's
Howard's
Howard
supposed to
the
be
Y
7D.
because you have like X and then Z
No,
and then
no,
you
no,
have
no.
Y.
No, it's X, Y, Z.
Yeah, Z's facing. It's like,
Z's depth.
yeah.
Okay, Now, but no, he showed her that's, like, who shows the person that they're in a relationship with that stuff? Like,
You've clearly never been in a relationship with me.
with you. Wait
what?
a second.
I didn't say that.
Did all those lonely nights mean nothing?
Oh, Israel Senpai, But I got more weird stories I could tell.
Please,
Don't die
call me
this
Onicha.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, Howard.
So should I tell more of my life, of these weird stories?
Yeah, no, that would be good.
Then nothing like that. That is...
Yeah, no, let's start moving away from the weird.
Okay, no, this is not involving that. One more for this one, and then we'll move on. So this is summer of 8th grade. Yeah, I know, a lot of stuff happened then. So I walked down to the park, and then it started raining. So I walked back home. So I had really long hair at this point. So
Actually, my summer of 8th grade, I just worked at camp.
So that's fun, Austin, but I'm telling my
We
story.
don't need to be mentioning that, because I don't want to be murdered.
And then, so I made a mistake of taking off my shirt. So I watched this guy in a bread truck move around my block 3 times. So I'm thinking, oh, hey, this is a guy I know from my church. So I wave at him. He stops in front of my house. So I go, that's not the guy I know. And then he motioned me to come over. I'm smart, so I don't go all the way to his truck. I am still on the sidewalk, which is about 6 feet away. He goes, "Hey, boy." I go, "Hello, sir. You a very pretty boy. You mess around." I go, "No." And he just looked at me, dead in the eyes, like.
Andrew is Pony Boy.
And then I just backed up.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Look at the king. Do it.
He's like, And so then I just backed up, I was like, deer in headlights, look, it backed up, and then he speeds off. He circles back around my house like 4 times,
God.
and then I never see him again.
With a shotgun.
I hope he didn't have a shotgun. That was scary.
God, yeah, no, that's that stuff.
Ooh. And yeah, no, that's why I cut my hair. Because on that, and also weird old guys at Walmart would always check me out. Like, these would be really, like, fat.
Andrew, you've got to stop
60-year-old
wearing
man.
your Rhodesian short shorts.
That's before I had those, and I still don't because they haven't manufactured them yet.
This one time, I was at Lowe's or something. Maybe it was... No, I don't go to Home Depot. So, it was at some hardware store.
Home Depot's like the off-brand Lowe's.
I don't think it is.
I'm pretty sure it's the name brand Home Depot.
Wait, no,
Home Depot is name brand Home Depot.
No, one time I was at... And I also used to have really long hair. Like, down to my waist long.
I have curly hair, so I've
Mine
never
wasn't
had
that-
that problem.
Mine wasn't that long.
No, anyways... And I had gotten pretty used to people asking if I was a girl or not, which, I understand. I'm very pretty. I didn't look muscular or buff.
You still don't.
That's also why I got worked out.
Oh.
Is because my sister would make fun of me saying, if you were a girl, you'd be the perfect woman because you're really busty. I was kind of chubby, so...
Oh my god! No, I used to joke
Andrew,
with
you
people
need to stop.
that I would make a prettier girl than most of the girls at school.
Yeah, that too.
Which I still would. But, anyways, so...
Andrew, I think your issue was wearing those tight black leather tank tops all the time.
You know I love those. Can't take that away from me.
So, me and my sister, who also at this time looks like a girl...
Dang it.
Weird.
Are sitting
I mean,
like
I
on this
hope
sack
so.
of like cement powder or something. I don't know.
It's
We're just sort
disgusting.
of like waiting there for like our mom to pick out some paint or something. And then this old guy walks by and says, "Hello, boys." Oh God, I had never felt so empowered in my life.
I once accidentally called my friend... I'm not going to say his name. I once accidentally called his female cousin a boy because of her haircut. She had like a bowl cut, and I misunderstood.
Even my hair is this long as it is now. I can't remember what in relation to me It was like, I thought I was a girl for the first couple of days I met this guy.
Should I keep charge shot or explosive?
Get explosive.
It sucks that people guess gender off
Okay,
of
we're
hair.
at 47 minutes.
47.
Okay.
I feel like we should switch this topic before I start crying.
Cut it.
Let's get around 1 hour.
Yeah, alright. So Israel, open up your little black book of knowledge.
Whoa.
Actually, super
Never mind.
Space Wolf. Yeah.
Now, stop revealing our podcast secrets to the crowd. And if you're listening, you won't see it, so you're good.
Okay, so we could continue telling weird stories.
I feel like we should have a segment of this every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Alright, let me,
I think that's overkill.
Also, what about dreams? You want to do dreams next?
Oh, I had a weird dream.
I think I stopped having dreams a while ago.
Oh my gosh.
I started having dreams again, and I'm...
Yeah, no,
I'm
usually
really
I
happy.
like it's just black. But sometimes
It's just black.
I
For
get
me, whenever I go to sleep, it's like I put my head down and I wake up the next morning.
I see black. So it's like a loading screen. And then other times it's really weird. Like out of like tripping weird. Or I get weird visions of the future that I don't know until it's already happened. So I get like weird deja vu.
I'll get those.
I get that too.
No, you don't. No, you said you don't have dreams.
No, that's when I daydream.
I used to daydream a ton, and I miss doing it so much. Like in grade school, I could spend an entire hour just in my own mind. It was beautiful, and I miss it so much. It was like getting high, honestly. It was like
Do you know what it feels like to get high?
only off of dentistry stuff because
Dentistry stuff.
whenever I was little,
Only I sniffing markers.
I would get a bunch of cavities, but like them doing the drill to like clear out the bad
Yeah.
stuff and put in it, that I could feel it in my ear. It would vibrate at a frequency so that I could hear it, and I thought I was feeling the drill on my teeth. Whatever. I wasn't. So they would give me this mask thing that just came up around my nose in two big tubes. They called Miss Piggy. And then I was like 5 or 3 or something whenever they first did it. It was an odd number. And it was weird. It was weird. Like the only way I can describe it is, at my cousin's old house, there was a porch swing. And then sitting there, swaying back and forth, if you just kind of like relax and do that. But you're like really swaying back and forth. It was like that. It was like that. I could feel and see myself swaying back and forth, and everything just kind of felt light. Of course, I could still feel it on my teeth, but I didn't tell them.
I really hate the dentist because every time I go, they usually miss my teeth and hit my gums.
Oh.
So like,
Well,
so they scrape my
having
teeth for cleaning, and they always hit the gums. So they're like, "You gotta floss more." I'm bleeding because your picks are hitting my gums.
Yeah,
not because I don't floss.
I've never had a big problem with the dentist because my grandfather's a dentist, so we just go to him and get free dental care, which is awesome.
Hey, I'm your friend, so I should get free dental care.
My grandmother on my mom's side, which is not my grandfather on my dad's side, has to pay. Yeah. Although I think that if I recommend you might be able to get
What
a
about
discount.
me, Israel?
I have
Not
good
you.
insurance, so I'm good.
Alright, that's good. Insurance is important. Always have it. You heard it here first.
More like
I hope that is not the first time you heard
you
that.
better have insurance. Hopefully, that's like the 32nd time you've heard it.
Hopefully.
But if this is the first time,
Did you say get insurance?
yeah, Austin.
Yeah, what was your dream about? You said the weird one? Did we already talk about it?
No,
Am I
we did
just
not.
Okay, good.
We talked about your dentistry getting high
Yeah, no.
stuff. That
Now I
you
want to
felt-
go to the dentist.
I have an addiction.
I
No,
live to feel the
You
pain.
purposely get cavities.
this only makes sense if you played Metal Gear Solid 5. 'Cause I was like talking to this woman. I'm like, good thing you don't speak Kikongo. And then she starts speaking Kikongo. Kikongo is a language of clicks. So then I'm like, I can't understand you. I couldn't process what was going on, and then it just melted.
What just melted?
My dream. It melted, and then I'm going through an inner tube. Yeah, this is crazy stuff. So I think I might get high when I sleep. That's probably why. It's just
Andrew
whack.
just secretes acid.
Yeah.
Do you guys dream in color?
Yes.
I dream in color, and I can read in my I can read in my dreams, which you're not supposed to be able to read.
You're not?
Yeah, you are not supposed. You're not supposed to be able to read. They're like, yeah, no, you can't read. You'll see things that you'll not be able to tell what it is, or you'll just sort of guess at what it is. No, I can read.
I sometimes I think I lucid dream because I know I'm dreaming, so I act out whatever scenario is in, and I make my own decisions. I can feel it, I can hear it, I can read, I can do all this stuff. So that's why I feel like when I have dreams, it's really weird and it gets really wacky because I know that I am dreaming and whatever is happening is kind of like
Here's the thing. I think I might lucid dream because I always have control over my dreams. I can always be like, and then what if this happened next? And then that happens, but this is gonna happen. But if I ever I'm in a dream, then I'll wake up.
Oh no! See, I remember this one. It was I was in my backyard and we're fighting a civil war and I had a bunch of clones of myself, and it was just a knockout. Like we have muskets with bayonets on them, pretty much, and we're standing on a line and we're firing, and then some guy rushes at me and I get impaled and I actually feel it. And then I feel the the vision is slowly fading, and then I wake up. I'm like, did another version of me just die?
He died into real life.
Was there another? Am I go to a different universe where there's a bunch of clones of myself fighting the Civil War, and I just got impaled? What's going on?
I used to have a reoccurring nightmare that I went into into my attic, which it was at my old house. Well, technically current house, my father's house, but since my parents have split up, I'm at my mom's now. But I don't need to get into that. Anyways, we had an attic there, but we never went up into it because it was just filled with crap and raccoons or something.
Haunted.
But
it was haunted.
yeah, probably haunted. There's only this weird way of getting into it and stuff, so we just never went up there. I used to have a recurring nightmare that up in that attic, I somehow I just wake up there, and the walls are covered in a fungus that is slowly digesting me. I'm
creepy.
Every time I try and punch it, it's this weird, gross, fleshy stuff. Every time I try and punch it, it'll start to pull me into it. But then there's also this girl who knows karate, who's able to who knows this special kind of martial art, so that she can hit it and then not get caught. And I'm trying to learn it. No, I had that dream a few times. I wasn't even 10 yet.
I think Israel is just imagining himself in a '90s alternative rock song. I remember a nightmare I had when I was little. It was Garfield, and I'd chase Garfield, and there'd just be horrible, horrible clowns and Jack-in-the-Box clowns. It looked like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was and I don't know, it just really scared me off Garfield for the longest time. I just conquered my fear the other day. No.
With a tale of two kitties.
Shut your mouth. That's my favorite movie.
I used to have this.
We are
recurring
at the 56-minute mark.
Okay. I used to have this really odd recurring nightmare that's just a super unconventional fear, but it was we used to have this flat car, and us as kids, we all sat in the back and stuff. But the nightmare that I had is that we were driving down a highway, but my parents weren't there. So it was just the three of us in the back seat, driving down a highway with nobody in the driver's seat. Traffic and everything. At night as well, because, I was asleep and stuff.
I don't know about aliens. I can't remember that too well. I just remember it was hyper realistic and aliens.
I always have the same sort of nightmares, and that's why fungus one stands out to me so much is because it's not like the rest, but at the same time sort of is. Because in all of my nightmares, there is some small thing. Usually, I think this might actually stem from the first time that I watched the movie Leprechaun. This like small gnome-like or doll-like creature that no matter what I do to it, I can't kill it. And I'm just doing these horrible, horrible, insane things to try and kill it. One time I was beating a gnome in the head with a fire extinguisher. Another time there was a doll that I kept stabbing it in the throat.
So that means...
But the doll, at the beginning of the dream, it was a werewolf. And then after I stabbed the werewolf a bunch, it turned into a doll. And I woke up and I was so scared I couldn't go back to sleep. I was scared to go back to sleep because I had a dream that the doll, that we came back to my house and that the doll was in the garage. And that I was sitting in front of the garage waiting for it to come and try and get me so that I could try and kill it again.
So you don't know what that means, right? We have to watch Leprechaun.
The movie's not even
Prank
that
on
scary.
sexual gun
Return to the hood.
Have you guys never seen Leprechaun in the Hood?
I've seen it, or I've seen like half of it.
Oh, it's so bad.
It is really bad, but it's just
That's the only way to conquer the fear.
no. I don't know what it is, but that's what all of my
We just set up a camera and Israel watch all of the Leprechaun movies.
just me crying. No, I'm not scared of the Leprechaun movie, but the first experience I had with Leprechaun movies, I was like 6 or something, and it's the part whenever the cop gets his face ripped off.
Same.
It's just what? And my mom, it was less that like seeing it happen and more my mom reacting to it with like pure fear and concern over me. That like I think messed me up.
Oh, I remember one time my dad was like, "Let's watch this scary movie. It's about a snowman coming to life and kills people."
Oh shit!
And then it turned out,
What's that
Jack
movie called?
Frost.
and then it turns out we were watching the one that was the kid movie.
Also called Jack Frost.
Where the guy, the guy is the snowman. And then they're like, so I turned to my dad. When does this get scary exactly? Something totally different.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you guys ready to wrap up?
Alright, well, that seems like a really good stopping point for us today.
Scary movies and dreams.
We'll probably return to dreams later. I have a bunch of stuff I can talk about with dreams. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. It's been real.
Cameron, you're lovely. Howard, your camera's lovely.
Have a beautiful day, night, or whatever time you're watching.
It
Hopefully
really
it's beer
depends.
o'clock.
No!
But not afternoon. You may not
That
have
really
a beautiful
helps, and-
afternoon.
What a convenient time to die.
Alright. Well, goodbye.